30 million illegal aliens from Mexico, are they? They're not deluged with 30 million immigrants who have sucked the medical system dry and for whom the entire health care revision is planned for, so that they can get a free medical care from birth to death for them and all of their relatives. They're not deluged with the number of immigrants that we are, because we're still the most accepting, idiotic country on the planet. So there it is. I feel good because I finally disclosed to you the genius of Michael Savage in another way. I even have the ear capacity to know when a caller is a stooge. Now, I'm going to read a list of books. Whoever can tell me what this list has in common with Michael Savage will win a free copy of Healing Children Naturally or Psychological Nudity. I'm going to read the books. Tell me what each of these books, what they all have in common with my book, with Michael Savage. Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. Candide by Voltaire. Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak. Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. 1984 by George Orwell. The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie. The Sorrows of Young Werther by Wolfgang von Goethe. The Call of the Wild by Jack London. What do all of these books have in common with, or shall I say, what do all of the authors of these books have in common with Michael Savage? That would be more correctly stated. 1-800-449-8255. In going through my notes for my book, I came upon a rap song that I did for the show on May 11, 2009, called The Weather Vane, V-E-I-N. If you guys can dig it up, I'm actually going to ask you to play it for me right now, because this is the, you'll find it because I have the date of May 11, 2009, The Weather Vane by Michael Savage. It begins with, I am Moses, Abraham, and Isaac. I am Charlemagne, John Wayne, Coltrane. I am Moses, Abraham, and Isaac. I am Charlemagne, John Wayne, Coltrane. Nobody in the history of radio has ever been able to do what I do on the spot, and I did that on the spot. And it actually is the conclusion to my new book, Banned in Britain, which I'm killing myself. I think I'm going to get a brain tumor if I keep it up. And I shouldn't even say this, because I hate, all my life I visualized health, and I've tried to push aside any images of, but it's starting to get to me. I'm overworking. The Britain thing is working on me, and I don't like what it's doing to me. I may have to take a few weeks off from radio, and I may, in fact, do the last 2 weeks of August. I need a breather from all of this. But until then, I'm going to give you everything I've got. As they say, when you bait your hook with your heart, the fish always bite. There's no in-between with me. Either it's a whole show or no show. There's no half show, quarter show, three-quarter show. There's no four-fifths a man with Michael Savage. So what I created here, The Weather Vane, V-E-I-N, was created on the spot May 11, 2009. Music was later added. It is now going to be the conclusion to my book, Banned in Britain. Play it, please. I am Moses. I am Abraham. I am Isaac. I am Charlemagne. I am John Wayne. I am Coltrane. They try to suppress me, try to redress me, call me incorrect, deserving no respect. I am Hatton. I am Hatton. Even Mountbatten. I am Eisenhower, not a wallflower. I am Washington. I am Pershing. I'm MacArthur. I'm Kipling. I'm Audie Murphy. And I'm Sky King. They'll steal your crown, trample you down, take your good name, and put it to shame. I am Gene Autry. I am Roy Rogers. I am Tom Mix. They try to push me over the river Styx, but it won't mix with my true blood, which runs thick for America. I am the bane of those vain. I am the weather vane. I am Michael Savage. You know, it was good. It was really good. It was really good. It's very stirring. And, of course, the metaphors I use of Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Charlemagne, John Wayne, Coltrane, Patton, Hatton, Eisenhower, Washington, Pershing, MacArthur, Kipling, Murphy, Sky King, Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, Tom Mix. It's really a mix of America from the time I was born until now. In other words, all of these strains run through me. I am a real American. And don't forget that I am an immigrant son. But I grew up at another time. I grew up before text messaging. I grew up before emails. I grew up before cable television. I grew up before the lowlifes took over the high places. I grew up in another time. I grew up in a real America when people came here to become Americans, not to drag America down into the third world toilets that they came from. I am a true American. I am Michael Trueblood. 1-800-449-8255, michaelsavage.com. Let's see, answer. Oh, Connecticut, Rob, I think we have a winner. Rob, go ahead, please. I asked what the authors of Brave New World, Candide, Zhivago, Gulliver's 84, Satanic, Young Werther, and The Call of the Wild, what do these books all have in common with, the authors of these books have in common with me?
They're all banned.
Bingo. Rob, you win a copy of any of my books. Now, do you prefer a book, or would you like Psychological Nudity, Healing Children Naturally, or how about a Savage Cap, The Savage Nation?
And I'll go with the cap.
All right, my friend, stay on the line, Rob. Yeah, all of these books were banned. Huxley's Brave New World was actually banned in Ireland in 1932. Would you believe it? Dr. Zhivago, some of you may have seen the movie but not read the book. Julie Christie, Boris Pasternak wrote it. That book was banned within the USSR until 1988 because it criticized the Bolshevik Party, which was the progenitor of the Obama Party. 1984 by George Orwell was banned in the USSR in 1950 because Stalin thought it was a view of his country in the future. Did you know 1984 was nearly banned by the U.S. and the UK in the early 60s during the Cuban Missile Crisis? Do you know that 1984 was banned in the USSR until 1990? Now, of course, the Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie were banned in Bangladesh, India, Singapore, and Iran for blasphemy. Michael Savage, of course, has been banned from England for blasphemy as well. The Sorrows of Young Werther, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Every time I say von Goethe, I want to go and drink some German beer. Was banned in several European countries because of the encouragement of suicidal deaths. It showed in the public. The Call of the Wild, Jack London. What could be more noble and stirring than that book? Banned in Yugoslavia and Italy. I have no idea why we banned in Italy. Why would they ban The Call of the Wild in Italy? The fascists were afraid of it? Because it would have brought out the manhood in the Italians? I don't understand it. So look, it's an easy, day here in the Savage Nation, but I really love playing for you the weather vane. I just got an idea. If it's not too expensive, what if I put a CD in my book in which I read the weather vane at the back? Let's find how much that would cost to add to the book. And that version will be available only to the first. Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do, okay? I don't have a big audience right now. The show has 8 to 10 million normally. This time of the summer, my guess is everyone shows off by 50%. But the people who are listening are really fanatics, so they listen even on vacation. They take the radio on a canoe. The wife is in the cabin sleeping with the children, whatever. The husband goes out in the car, says he's going to go for a walk. He turns on the Savage Nation. So I know that this is the hardcore audience, unless they're on European travels where they want to go get treatment from a female doctor in France who has garlic breath and red wine stains on her smock. All right, they're not hearing the show. I doubt that they're able to listen to it over there. But for those of you who are listening, you remember last year when I published Psychological Nudity? I launched it right after Labor Day. I had it on my website. Actually, it started in August, I think, like around now. And I took pre-orders in August. That's what I did, if I remember correctly. And the book was published sometime after Labor Day. But in the pre-orders, maybe I can give you a special deal like the weather vane on a CD if you order now. Because I'd like to know how many to print, truthfully. I wonder if I can divulge this to the listeners. I don't know if this is something I should or shouldn't do. I have a real problem with my, how shall I say, my subconscious and my inner self. Sometimes I don't have enough of a barrier between the inner and the outer man. And sometimes I say things that I shouldn't, or I divulge things I shouldn't divulge to you. I can't give you the exact number, but on my website alone, the book Psychological Nudity, which is available only on my website in hardcover, let's say it's outsold 99% of authors in the history of American literature. Let's put it to you that way. And whatever that number may be, and remember, it's not in bookstores, it's not on Amazon. Bookstores are fine, Amazon's fine. It was only available on my website. I want to show you the power of this audience and what readers they are. I can make bestsellers of other people on this show, and they know it. So even liberals who detest me come on the show to get their book promoted or their movies promoted, which is okay. Whatever the number may be, okay, people are estimating that the book that I'm about to launch, called Banned in Britain, and the cover, actually, you can see it on michaelsavage.com. It's me with a piece of tape over my mouth with a big Ben behind me. I'm not promoting the book at all. I should be. I'm sorry, I should be. You should save this, by the way, for when the book's ready, because I'll be out of breath by then. They estimate that this book will outsell the other book 2-to-1, because although Psychological Nudity is a wonderful 72 stories from the radio of my childhood and whatnot, it wasn't as political as this book is going to be, and it wasn't as important as this book is going to be, because the book Banned in Britain is not